Luke. How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
Just doing well. You look like a guy. We've already heard the Nick Muse competition nights thing. How did you do in the nighttime competitions? And my second question is just talk about you've got an entirely new quarterback room this year. How it's been, Ryan and Colin are both gone, competing against a new group of guys.
We'll start with the night competition stuff. I came into it a little bit late because I was actually in quarantine for I think the first week of it. So getting back into it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of success. Just competing with all the guys, and there was some really good competition there, and it was definitely a lot of fun, especially going into Williams-Brice and finishing it off, just in time for spring ball. So that was an awesome experience for the team, and just to get everybody in that place, and just kind of set the stage for what's to come. As far as the new quarterback room goes, it's been a lot of fun just to be around those guys. To be, in competition with them, regardless of whether it's working out, running, on the field, throwing balls, routes on air, stuff like that. It's been really fun. I think we're a pretty tight knit group of guys. Obviously with Colton coming in, he brings another element into it, just because of the way he carries himself, and Jason as well. And Connor Jordan as well. All those guys are really stand-up dudes, and guys that I'm really proud to have around me, and I'm looking forward to continuing to compete with them, and they're making me better, I'm making them better, and as a unit, I think that's really what it comes down to, is having a strong quarterback room, especially for the team. Because we're the leaders, you know what I mean. So that's really important to us, taking that leadership and that accountability for everything that we do on the field. So really great group of guys, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Mike Yuba.
Hey Luke, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you look back to last season, and obviously thrown into the mix toward in a difficult situation. I'm sure it was a whirlwind at some points. Looking back at last year, as you get ready for spring football, I know you guys are already a week into it, but now that you're into spring ball, what were you able to take away from last season, and how is things kind of slowing down for you as you go through reading obviously your progressions and just being able to learn from so many great guys like obviously Connor Shaw?
I mean, I think obviously getting thrown into the fire a little bit at the end of last season. That's definitely, like you said. I mean, it's helped things slow down. Just in the 3 practices that we've had so far, I can definitely tell a big difference from last year. At the speed of the game at which I play it, and just how everything is being processed. I can definitely tell things are starting to slow down and open up for me a little bit. Things start to click a little bit faster, in my mind, going through progressions, reading the defense, and just kind of going through everything that, our offense entails. And I think being put out there and having a little bit of success last year, that's definitely helped me, especially, gain some confidence going into this spring, So that was, a big step forward, obviously in my growth as a quarterback. And I know I got a long way to go. I'm still technically considered a freshman, but, I'm excited to continue to learn, continue to get better, and just, do as much as I can to win.
Chandler Mack.
Hey, Luke, hope you're doing well, man. Talk to us a little bit about, coming into last year. Mike kind of touched on it in last question. You were obviously the third string behind Colin and Ryan, but fast forward to this year, you're QB1. What's been the biggest difference for you now that you're kind of in more of a leadership role? And also, how happy were you when you found out that Nick Muse was coming back for another year?
Yeah, it was I'll touch on the Nick Muse thing first. It was good to hear him, that he was coming back, because obviously he's one of the guys that is going to be in a big position for us this year. He's a big time leader on this team. I know he helps me out, and getting guys in the huddle, and kind of keeping everybody straight for me whenever, I'm getting the play calls and stuff. So he's definitely been a big help and, kind of a guy that I really look up to because he does things the right way, along with a lot of other guys on the team. He does things the right way. He practices the right way, and really just, sets a good example for how we want to, play and carry ourselves on the field. And I mean, stepping into the role of, the leadership role, like you said, that's been a lot of fun for me. I feel like I have a pretty good voice, to bring people along. And, I try to do that with the way that I work out, the way that I step onto the field, the way I practice, just kind of going back to doing everything the right way. I feel like that sets a really good example for guys, even some of the younger guys coming in. I feel like that's, something that we need and we need more of. And a lot of guys on the team are starting to step into those roles as well. So it's been really cool to see that.
Gabe McDonald.
Hey, Luke, hope you've been doing well. Gary McDonald from out here in Myrtle Beach. Got a couple for you. First off, getting to know Coach Satterfield, what have you really learned from him?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Sat has been awesome. Obviously him coming in and bringing in some of his staff and, some of the guys that he's worked with. It's really been cool to, go in there and sit in some of the meetings and really just hear what he has to say and kind of pick his mind on things along with some of the other guys. Like I said, that he's brought in. So, he's a really smart dude. He knows what he's talking about, and he's a great coach. Like I said, the three practices that we've had, we've made a lot of progress. Obviously, I got a lot of stuff to work on, and in those three practices, we've gone back and watched film and kind of dissected and picked out the some of the little flaws and some of the things that I can get better at with my feet, with my eyes. Just kind of the little things, and that's what he emphasizes: doing everything the right way. At every offensive meeting that we have, he ends it with practice is everything, and that kind of goes for all the things that we do. It has to be important to us, and that's something that he stresses a lot, is that everything that we do is important and everything that we do is going to make a difference. So he's been really good, and I can't wait to continue to learn from him and to continue to be coached by him.
John Dell.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Going back to the question about Coach Satterfield, as a quarterback that uses his legs as much as you do, what excites you about his philosophies, his schemes as a play caller? Yeah,
I mean, we definitely like to push the ball down the field, but we also like to kind of dink and dunk around and a lot of stuff put on the quarterbacks, and we have a lot of decisions to make, and we have a lot of input in the offense. So that's been really cool to. Like I said, just go in and sit down with him and just kind of talk ball. That's something that he's about. He's a ball guy. So it's been fun to see, just the things that he's able to do within the offense and stuff that we're able to implement, not just for me, but for everybody, for Jason, for Connor, for Colton. We're all kind of on the same level. So that's been pretty cool to see, and he's done a really good job, in doing that. So. Like I said, I can't wait to, kind of see what else he has in store for us.
And if I could pivot to Coach Beamer for a second, when he got the job, how quickly was it before he reached out to you for you guys to talk privately? And what do you remember about that first conversation, that initial meeting with him?
Well, that actually occurred, I think, the day after the Kentucky game. Whenever he came in and we got to meet him for the first time. After he spoke, after our meeting was over. I got up, shook his hand, and he kind of pulled me off to the side and just said, just how happy he was to have me, here at the University of South Carolina, and just how excited he was, and going forward, and what the future had in store for us. So he's done awesome, man. He's one hell of a coach. He treats everybody the same way, treats everybody the way he wants to be treated. And I think that's really a testament to him, because he does everything the right way, and that's something that we need more of. Just guys doing things the right way, and you can definitely tell it's rubbing off on everybody. You see guys coming in, getting extra work in, extra time in the film room, and just little things like that. Like I said, is a testament to him. He's done a great job.
Will Kronsberg?
Yeah, so obviously over the past couple, maybe even go back 2 regimes, the run game's kind of ebbed and flowed, but Marshawn mentioned to us kind of that thunder and lightning dynamic between him and Kevin, and obviously adding you in. So what do you think we'll see from the run game, and how do you think you'll add to that dynamic?
Yeah, I think obviously with us getting Marshawn back and us still having Kevin and Zaquandre and a bunch of other guys that are going to be really explosive for us. I think that adds a pretty different dynamic to our run game and just the way that we operate there. Like I said, it's definitely going to be explosive because all those guys are powerful runners. They're fast and they have really good vision on the field. So I'd like to kind of think of myself in the same way, even though I play quarterback, but I'm excited. I'm very grateful to be around those guys because they can teach me a lot of stuff too, just in playing kind of in that same realm of running the ball, and their vision on the field, just kind of picking their brains about that kind of stuff. It's going to be really fun. That's for sure.
Colin Taylor?
Luke, first, weird does it feel to go from being the young guy last year to being the only guy in that room that started a game at the SEC level?
It's hard to believe, but it's crazy. It's only about a year difference between everybody, so it's pretty weird, but not weird at the same time.
And your teammates have come in and described you as a leader, a natural leader. I'm curious, where does that stem from? And how would you describe your leadership abilities?
Yeah, I think that comes from just kind of, I guess, my rec league days. I was the guy that whenever we finished a drill or finished whatever we were doing, I wanted to give everybody a high five and just kind of encourage everybody. I'm a pretty encouraging guy. I like to lift everybody up, be positive. And like I said, I think that just goes back to my, younger days of playing ball, just being out there with, the guys that you love, the guys that, that are your brothers and that you're pretty much around all the time. So, I think that's an important thing and an important part about playing football is just, you get to be around, some of the guys and some of the best people in your life, guys that you're going to have in your wedding, guys that you're going to keep in touch with, for the rest of your life. So, I think the positivity aspect is important. The encouraging aspect is important. And just also loving everybody around you. And I feel like that's something that, I've tried to do as a leader, as an up and coming leader, just kind of picking everybody up, regardless of what period of practice it is, bringing positive energy and just bringing some juice. And, you can tell it's contagious because, like I said, you can see guys all around the practice field, on both sides of the ball doing the exact same thing. So I like to think I'm a pretty vocal leader. I try to have it, impose my voice and thoughts on things, when I can. And doing that, just, bringing guys along with me and lifting them up at the same time.
Last question goes to Luke Bijak. I'm sorry.
Luke, I know Ortre wasn't around last year. What would a healthy Ortre Smith mean for this offense? And what are your thoughts on E.J. Jenkins so far?
Both of those guys are going to be, big for us, and literally and physically. They're, like I said, they're pretty big bodies, guys that we can put in a lot of different situations and in a lot of different places, that can really just go make plays for us. And I think that's what it's going to come down to, guys just making plays. And those are 2 guys that are going to be making a lot of them. Ortre's been practicing and, like you said, he wasn't here last year, because of COVID, but, with having him back definitely brings another element to the offense. He's a guy that runs really good routes, has really good hands and can go up and get a deep ball. So EJ Jenkins the same way. He's a big body that, like I said, we can put in a lot of different places. And man, he's definitely a unique guy. He can run quick short routes, and he can run the long ones. So those are two guys that are definitely going to be a big part of the offense.
And now the last question goes to Michael Lanana.
Hey, Luke. Ortre was talking about how when he first really got to know you, it was in the wide receiver room and with you kind of learning to be a receiver. And I'm just kind of curious, obviously you're not a receiver anymore, but that experience, does that help you as a quarterback to build chemistry with receivers? And does that help you, I guess, just to understand more what your receivers are doing out there?
Yeah, no doubt. I kind of had the same situation my sophomore year in high school whenever I played receiver in Myrtle Beach. And like I said, it's kind of the same kind of thing. Just being in that room last year for a pretty long period of time, and just getting to be around those guys and just kind of get a feel for what they go through, on a daily basis, on a practice basis, in the meeting rooms, how they dissect and watch film, and just really the overall technique was really cool to be a part of. And I definitely learned a lot there. Just kind of have another feeling of where guys are going to break, how they're going to run their routes. Like I said, the technique part of it I think was big for me, stepping back into the role of quarterback, because I kind of knew where and how they were going to run their routes, because I was in that position too. So I definitely think it's helped me and helped the game slow down a little bit. And it's definitely going to help me going forward. And it was cool to kind of be around those guys and build better relationships with them throughout last year, and it was a lot of fun.